If the attendee, could that be Mark
I think that's Sarah.
promoted to panelist?
Yeah, that's Sarah.
Yeah, we got 2% for that
The
one.
panelist is me.
Okay.
So nobody else is.
Yeah, I was like, I'll do that. Only because I don't know how to deal with it, though. That's just drives me nuts. But I like to be on everything.
It's a better reading.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody. That's all right. We weren't gonna start without you. Well. So just so you know, we are being recorded. I have started the meeting technically. Kind of unofficially started. So it's 5:30, October 20th, 2022. This is the meeting of the Architectural Review Board. And then I don't know who is going to be, are you going? Okay.
Welcome to our small group this evening. We will be starting right into our regular meeting. There won't be a work session this evening because of our short agenda. We have here present in the room with us, Andrew Klosterman from the City of Webster Groves, and then the volunteer architects on the board, Mark Vogel, Ken Burns, and I'm Carol Denke. Normally we would start with approval of the meeting minutes because not enough members are present this evening that were here at the previous meeting. Two meetings. We will table the minute approval until our next meeting. We have a few pre-approvals this evening. Oh, and we do have our city council liaison with us online. Is that correct?
Sarah, if you're there, I allowed you to talk.
Muted.
Oh yeah. Hi everybody. I'm Sarah. I'm with Dave.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, we've got Sarah Richardson, who's
Oh,
a
sorry.
city council liaison, but I just wanted to verify because people change and rearrange names sometimes. Okay, so if you'll just sit tight with us, Sarah, we've got a few pre-approvals and then we'll get into a discussion of your project. Okay, the first item on the agenda that's pre-approved is 7985 and 87 Big Bend Boulevard. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve 7985-87 Big Bend Boulevard as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's approved unanimously. Our next item is number 1, Old Westbury. May I have a motion?
I move to approve 1 Old Westbury with the understanding that windows number 1718 as submitted on the front will have horizontal crossbars to match the appearance of the existing windows.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimously agreed. Next pre-approval item is 408 Fairview.
I move to approve 408 Fairview with the understanding that the dormer will have synthetic cedar shake and the windows will be sized to have clearance for full trim and flashing. Particularly where it's at the roof line hits those corner windows.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and that is unanimously approved. Okay, and our remaining item here is 811 Providence. It's a covered rear deck. Comments from the board members.
I was a little confused with, I think there's looking at the drawings, the way the roof of the porch hits the house looks like it's different in rear elevation than it is in the whatever side, the east view, so we can't reconcile how it's work.
I had, we'll have board comments and then we'll talk with you and figure things out.
Other than that, it's
I had two comments. One of them was concerning the posts on the lower being different from the upper. And particularly what concerns me is there's a house at the intersection of Summit and Atalanta, where there's a similar condition where there's a stacked set of posts that are different from each other. And it's got a very awkward appearance because the upper posts are more massive than the lower ones. And I think that's a big look that to me is unacceptable, and particularly because this house is kind of in the corner lot. And it has multiple neighbors on two different sides. I think it's be very, very visible to their neighbors. And so that's one item that I have concerns about. The other one is about the cladding around the fireplace. A similar issue is that, notice that there's stone cladding on the interior sides where the homeowner will get to enjoy it, but on the back side, again, facing the neighbors, it's going with siding, and I would suggest continuing the stone around the backside.
Yeah, I had similar comments to those, and also a few clarification items. There, it looks like there's a metal banister that's called out, and then there's also a composite rail system. And I just wanted to verify if that was a combination of metal and composite, or exactly what was going on there. And then there appears to be a space that is closed off below the deck that shows on some sheets, but it doesn't show on our main elevations. It shows in some of the later sheets in the set. It looks like on page 11 of 21, it looks like there's an enclosure there that is not shown on the elevations that are on page 7, 8, and 9. And there's also no plan view of that lower enclosure. And is there an access door? Where's the access door located? What does it look like? And is there an intention to just leave a gap below the bottom of the wall and grade? Because it's just doesn't look like there's no indication of any sort of foundation there. And you certainly wouldn't want that in grade contact. So that would be a question. Let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, there was looks like a little error on the site plan drawing. It's a county tax plat that was used as a site plan. And actually, if you take a look at that, that's been accidentally drawn on the adjacent to the front part of the house. That's the front porch that's on the blue block there. So that would need to be amended. And then also too, if we're going to use this as a wood burning fireplace, code would likely require you to extend that chimney a bit more. And I think it would look a lot nicer if it had a chase around it and it was centered on the ridge line. And then also too, this, if I'm understanding the drawing correctly, it's a little confusing. It looks like on page 8 of 21, it looks like the roof of the new covered deck area actually collides with the existing window. I mean, the roof overhang looks like it protrudes into the window sash. So that's certainly need clarifications needed there. And, if it does indeed protrude into the window sash, that would need to be alleviated. Oh, and I also had a comment similar to Mark's, that I think the it would look much nicer if the finished material on the chimney was the same on all sides. And if not, at least have the sides and rear to all match, because it does have a bit of an awkward appearance with the siding on just the back. So with that, did y'all have any additional comments?
No.
Questions?
No.
Okay, all righty. We'd like to invite the representative of the project to discuss with us. And if you could please introduce yourself and state your role in the project.
My name is David Dean. I'm the contractor, Dean Construction. I drew up the plans. And I see there's a few issues that I didn't catch while I was doing it. So we'll go through those real quick. I did draw up a couple pages for you folks to look at as far as some of the visual things that you mentioned. If you want to look at that real quick. I brought 7, but. That's kind of, you need another one.
Yeah.
I did, on the front page, I did draw a chimney, like you suggested. I talked to the homeowners and they prefer to have vinyl siding on the back and the sides and only have the stone inside. The enclosed area or the covered area. And then I also kind of penciled out the little storage room in the bottom. And then the next page, I basically, gave that little storage room more description. It's basically just to house pots and yard tools and stuff like that.
Is
Go ahead.
the comment about does it have a foundation or not, how does it contact with soil?
I was gonna leave it up off the ground.
So the door's gonna float?
The door will be sitting on top of the 2x4 that'll be, so yeah, basically it'll be hanging. That wall will be hanging on the deck and then it won't touch the ground. It'll be sitting on the piers. But I can put in some footings to help support that doorway and then we could drop it down or.
Or just for the footing on that one wall?
Just for the doorway.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, just, the other sides, if you wanna, it's a potting shed.
Right.
You can span the other sides, because it's not even right over
Right.
it. I think maybe
Yeah, I can do that.
footing there might make the construction is gonna last longer.
Yeah. Okay.
And then also with regard to the corner treatments on that area, the enclosed area below. You had mentioned that there was going to be column covers on the column below. That was in your submittal. So what are we looking at here? Is that going to be exposed column, or are you going to finish those corners of that enclosed area out with vinyl siding corners, or?
Well, I would like to side in between the columns.
Okay.
To show those columns, because I think it's gonna look strange with that box and then there's the columns over here. So I'd like to build it inside in between the columns and leave some detail to the edges. I know you had said something too about the columns not being the same size, but I mean, I plan on them being 6x6s all the way up.
And so they'll match.
Yeah,
the
it'll
tops
just
and
be-
bottoms? Okay.
I'm hoping to do one full board, but I might have to piece it in the middle.
So consistently, the post is gonna go grade, deck to roof.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they'll all be bolted in and everything, so it'll be good and solid.
Let's see.
The other one was the window with the eave.
Yeah,
There's a couple ways that we can do this. I could raise the roof up another foot and shorten the overhang so that it does not land in that window. Or I can talk with the homeowner, Sarah, and see if we can do something different with that window. Are you still there, Sarah?
I am
Okay.
still here.
Okay.
I know they didn't want to get rid of the window, but I know that's gonna be some kind of an issue of dealing with that just yet.
Well, I think that, I appreciate you wouldn't want to get rid of those, a nice window. I totally agree with that. Perhaps y'all could look at some solutions, because that is an extremely awkward condition. I don't think you'd really like the way it looked on the inside either. I mean, if you wanted to just kind of mull some things around and maybe even, I don't know,
But
look at maybe making that roof area an L shape or something, so the overhang didn't interfere, or raise the
Yeah.
bearing. But I really do think it's critical that be addressed.
yeah, I thought about that, just doing that. I would like to look at possibly maybe moving the windows over. So that's something I'll need to get with them about, see what solution they'll be happy with.
Okay.
But I know it can't
Yeah.
do that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
we're open, so we'll figure something out.
And then the question that I had about the railing combination, it looked like maybe, I don't know if there was like a composite rail system with a graspable metal rail, or what the situation was with that. Page 5 says there are aluminum balusters at the stair, and page 2 of 4 calls out a white composite rail system.
Right. Kind of. Page 5.
There's
Okay,
got that.
so-
Yeah, 2-inch aluminum banister.
Yeah, that would be the banister, that'd be the part you're grabbing.
Okay,
That's
that-
aluminum, so it's
okay.
not wood, it doesn't fall apart, and you can paint it or stain it, it just,
Right,
they always have splinters or something, so I always do aluminum for the actual. what
the
you're grabbing.
graspable,
Yeah,
yeah, okay. And so the aluminum graspable rail will be attached to the composite rail system. So we'll be looking at a composite rail system with the posts and the same configuration as the guardrail.
Right.
And then the graspable will be affixed to that.
right,
Is that
it'll be,
correct?
yes, it'll be fixed to a solid point, which on the 4x4s, they just take a sleeve that goes over them, so there's still a wood 4x4 inside there,
Okay.
so when you mount to it, it's good and solid.
Okay, great. Yeah, and the appearance will be, the overall appearance will be like we see in the elevations.
Yes,
Okay, okay,
yes.
yeah, thanks for that clarification.
And as far as the roof line is going, if you're gonna, you mentioned maybe raising the whole roof up to get around that window,
Yeah,
if that roof can be raised up to go,
right,
because this, I mean, it shows it 2 different ways.
yeah, I think
That could be that, but,
I think that this over here may be a scale problem on this, and then this one is actually what it should look like. What page is that? Number 7,
Right.
page 7. Yeah, I think that's the roof line that it's gonna be, is it's a little bit above this other roof.
if the whole thing were to come in above the other roof, I think it's a better connection. between
Yeah.
the two. And you are framing that wall for privacy, I take it.
Yes. Yeah, we're framing that privacy, and then that was another question. That wall is gonna go over to the 6x6 and be built inside it, not to go around. Siding's not gonna go on the 6x6, so it'll show the post. There'll just be siding in between.
Okay, so,
So basically, this gutter board is gonna be above that condition is,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
That takes care
I
of
think
it.
that's, yeah, I think that's what's probably gonna happen here. It's
Yeah.
just gonna get raised a
It's
foot.
gonna be easier to build. If I look at that hurts.
Yeah, and then it'll get it above that, exactly.
Thank you, my own concern.
so then Dave, from the front of the house, you'll see your nice finished column, and then you'll have the vinyl siding will be butting into the column, is that correct?
Yeah, it'll just be button right into the side.
Okay, okay, and then, is there gonna be like a trim piece, or are you gonna articulate around this, or how's that gonna work?
Well, I would put my J channel in for siding up and nail it to the 6x6, and then I would build the trim for the post off of that,
So
so,
you're gonna do a 6x6 post and the wall frame, probably a 2x4, so
Yeah.
you get some depth there.
yeah, 2x4, so there'll be some detail, there'll be siding and then the edge of the post, and it'll keep going. And then I'll detail the trim around it, up above and down below,
Okay.
I assume
and it'll show.
the interior wall is gonna be vinyl too, correct? Inside.
Yeah, because, yeah, the inside, it'll just match the back of the house,
That's perfect.
yeah. That's, yeah, so.
Okay,
Does the owner have any comments or?
Sarah, do you have any comments?
I don't.
Okay,
You did a great job, Dave.
thank you.
so have y'all, decided, both Dave and Sarah, how you want to address this roof condition here?
For the windows.
Yeah,
I think we're going to look at raising it, because right now it's 7 foot under the 2x10 supports.
Yeah, if we can raise
think
it,
what it's
I'm,
all-
I'm more for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would raise it up to 8, and then that'll give me some overhang, but not yet drop down into the window.
And the higher it goes, the more light you're gonna
Yeah,
let
exactly.
it let into that window, but the other one that's completely covered.
It's
as well.
just, it's
Yeah.
gonna make the whole joining of the roofs go.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so then the support beams will be at 8 foot off the bottom of the deck roughly, and then it'll just feel really nice.
yeah, I actually would like to see how that would look drawn, because it is gonna affect the overhangs. If you need to shorten them, and, I think it would be good to have the city have documentation of what they'll actually be looking for when they go out for inspection.
Okay, yeah, I don't have a problem with drawing it. so.
Yeah, well, I think that would be great, and then, you and Sarah could take a look at it together, and then you could address some of these other minor comments that we had by actually just noting those up and clarifying them on the drawings.
Okay,
I think that would help, everybody concerned, and as your project goes forward, it would help to alleviate any,
questions later.
questions or, so just generally tends to make things go a little bit
Oh, It
better.
definitely does. No guesswork.
So Andrew, do you know the next resubmittal day?
No, I don't.
It's like Monday noon or something.
I
No,
think
they
it's
usually
usually
say
like
Thursday.
Tuesday? Is it
I
Tuesday?
thought it was Thursday,
Okay, you know what?
but check with Mara
Yeah,
before the resubmittal.
yeah,
Next week, it's either Tuesday or Thursday of next week. You might be right, about Tuesday.
I think it's Tuesday, but.
So, and if you work with her, sometimes even if you can't get it in, like in this case, you would just be resubmitting, answering their concerns, and it would move pretty smoothly. So she would probably work to get you on the agenda, but like I said, just talk with Mara
Okay.
about when the resubmittal is.
And I apologize.
The result there would be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would have to come to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so, yeah, and if you want to just, figure out, the exact configuration of everything when you address that, the roof intersection, and just show that clearly on your revised drawing. And thank you for the revisions that you brought in today.
Okay, great.
And then just kind of note up some of these other, items.
Okay.
I think that, get it in and resubmit it, it should smooth things out for you.
Did you make notes about the comments? Or did you gotta
Yeah.
reiterate them?
Just so you know, it's also recorded. You can find it on the website, so you can
Yeah.
watch that portion of the meeting, just for clarification.
Okay.
It's on YouTube, so
Yeah.
you can just kind of go back and review what was discussed.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
And we don't always have the same members, depending on what meeting it is, so I think it'd be helpful also if you just had a couple of bullets, that show where, you call out, I made this change, this change, this change, just so, you know, the committee members are knowing what to look
Okay.
for with the recent bill. That'd be helpful.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good.
That includes the foundation beside the door, right?
Yeah, you're gonna do the foundation along the wall where the doors located.
Yes.
Not the other areas. 'Cause you can do a base framing of a 2x10 or two 2x10s.
Right.
That'd be cool. That's more in the middle.
Well, how you thought about that when I was drawing it up? I was like, man, do I put a pier there? I just, at some point, I was just like, we'll see what happens. Go from there. So,
This is a.
all right, good deal.
What we'll do is we'll just go ahead and table this project until the next meeting, and we'll look forward to your resubmittal and take it from there.
Okay,
Like I say, you're in all likelihood, you're gonna be pre-approved, so you won't have my appearance.
okay. Well, I sure do appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming, both Dave and Sarah, and talking with us this evening.
Thank you so much.
All righty. We are adjourned for this. Thank everyone very much.
That concludes this evening's meeting.